Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe, click that bell so you know when my next video drops, because you just gained a new best friend. Today we'll be discussing personal statements and experience. So let's get into it. So let's start with personal statements. You are allotted 5,300 characters, not words, characters to convey to a committee why medicine. Now, when you are starting your personal statement, you want to really sit down and analyze what brought you to want to pursue this field. Now, keep in mind, there's nothing new under the sun. So there's nothing that has been said before that won't be restated. But you want to make sure that whatever genuinely resonates with you as to why you're pursuing this career, as to what, pathway you want to go down once you're in medicine, that you get that information out. Your personal statement is not a regurgitation of your resume. So a good starting point would to draft an outline and figure out what is going to be your theme. Now, there's many approaches you can do. Me personally, I set up my intro to put the reader in the room while I was giving CPR. I've read other personal statements where they compared the lens of a camera to their journey towards medicine. I've seen other statements where they compiled all their experiences and made it into a storyline. So the body paragraph is your opportunity to support whatever you led with in your introduction. That's also room to discuss some of the experiences that quantified why you wanted to go into medicine, some of the research you did, basically just bringing the reader along this journey. And always remember the platform that you're on. You're trying to answer this why medicine, and the body should be your meat and potatoes on really answering that information. You also not only want to answer why medicine, but you want to answer, once you're in medicine, what are your plans? What are your goals? That is your time to talk about it. Now, you can also discuss some of the blemishes that might be in your application. We're not perfect. Me, myself, I had, some grades that needed to be discussed, and I was vulnerable. I discussed, why my grades had slipped at that point, and to really make the reader understand that, I wasn't lazy. I didn't, just give up. It was something that happened in my life that made my grades fall as they did. So don't take negative and feel like, oh, I can't write about this, I can't talk about it. This is your time to discuss it. And honestly, it will help you because it shows that, yes, I identified my issues and you overcame them. So that's plenty of time to show that, hey, I made mistakes. I wasn't the perfect 4.0 student. I made my mistake, but here's how I improved, or here is how I am improving. So use that platform, and whether it's bad grades, whether it's a break in your education, whatever it may be that you consider a blemish in your application, use the body of that personal statement to discuss that. Now, in your conclusion, you want to make it strong. You don't want to introduce any new ideas in your conclusion statement. It really should just tie in all the loose ends and all the things that you mentioned, and once again, tie back into the theme of your body. So that's a great way to re-emphasize your points that you made throughout the personal statement. So understand that the personal statement, this is your first opportunity to really show who you are and why medicine. Up until this point, they've seen, logistics like grades. They've seen your MCAT, your GPA. At this point, this is your stage to really emphasize, why you're choosing this career path. So make it intimate, make it personal. Don't be scared to be vulnerable, because that's what made you. One thing with the personal statement is you want to make sure that you stick to your story. Now, when you start having individuals look over it for corrections, look over it to, see if you're really conveying your idea. Make sure you do not allow them to take away your story. We all need help on punctuation. We all need help on, making sure that it sounds right. But when it comes to your story, make sure you keep your story, because your story is unique to you. Your reason why you want to go into medicine is unique to you, and you need to get that across to the committee. Okay, next, let's get into experiences. Now, your experiences, the way it's set up is you get 15 opportunities to discuss some experiences that basically cemented your reasoning on why you're pursuing medicine. Experiences, this is another opportunity for you to convey to the platform now what you have done to get to this point, what you have done to basically cement the idea of why you want to pursue medicine, and also show your personality, show who you are, show that you're a well-rounded person. So a lot of individuals, they feel like, oh, I just need to flood these experiences with shadowing and clinical work. No, your experience section is your area to really show who you are, what you like to do, outside of just shadowing, outside of clinical. So yes, I did have shadowing, I did have clinical. I know others who put research, but I also know others who put being a mom, how they handle being a mom. I've put traveling, I put choir, I put things that I like to do, hobbies, and how I feel they will attribute to me being a better physician, me being more of a well-rounded medical student. So take that opportunity to really sit down and jot some of the things that you have done, some of the things that make you, you, because you have to understand all you really have in this application that you really have control over at this point is your personal statement and your experiences. So if you mention something in your personal statement and you want to expound upon it a little bit more, the experience section is the perfect platform to do so. So take that opportunity to discuss, like I said, you can still discuss your clinical, your research, your shadowing, but also take that opportunity to discuss any hobbies you may have, any experiences outside of medicine that you may have, because that's going to make you a better physician. That's going to really emphasize your story. I'm military, so I discuss my deployment. I discuss some of the extracurricular activities I was a part of, and that's what makes me me. So make sure that you stay true to yourself in these experiences, because they can come back and ask you about this. So you don't want to lie or tell any. So you want to make sure that you're honest in these experiences and make sure that these relate to you and not somebody else because you think it sounds good. Now with the experience section, you have to make sure that you have a person of contact with their number and their email. You also have to list how many numbers, you also have to mention how many hours you put towards this experience. And it's calculated and quantified to really see how this experience has molded you. So keep a tab of those hours, because you will have to put it in your AMCAS application, and make sure you're honest with these hours, because the committee will go back and do calculations to see if this is an accurate representation of how many hours you've done doing this experience. Now, as far as approaching the experience and how to write them, you want to make sure that you are showing and not telling. Okay, I'm gonna say that one more time. You want to make sure that you are showing the committee, you want to make sure that you're showing the committee that you have leadership skills, not telling the committee you have leadership skills. For example, a no-go, an absolute no-go would be, I have leadership skills, I led the team doing this, I did this. Like, that's not how you want to approach showing you have leadership skills. Now, something you can do is, in a committee of 50 people, I, planned, organized, executed a project in my community where we had to feed the homeless and read books to children in schools or clean up beaches. Like, that's how you show that you have leadership skills. Now there's this thing called the 15 core competencies, and you can look it up. AMCAS 15 core competencies, and your grades are going to take up most of the categories. It's going to answer most of the, it's going to answer most of the things that is listed on that 15 core competencies. But the rest that's not listed, the committees are looking for this in your personal statement and in your experiences. So, things such as leadership, they want to see that in your personal statement or your experiences. So you want to make sure that you are actually, checking off all of these characteristics that they're looking for while you're telling your story and, emphasizing why you want to be in medicine. So in these experiences, just make sure that you are constantly showing how you embody this characteristic and not telling. I don't need you to tell me you're a leader. I need you to show me you are a leader. And by doing that, you say how you led this group, how you saved this amount of money. Put numbers in there, as well as what you learned. Always tie your experiences back around with how it molded you, what you learned, how you think it will make you a better medical student, how you think it will make you a better physician, the lessons that really came out of this. So take that as an opportunity to, once again, support your reasoning as to why you want to go to medicine, what you learned, and show, not tell. What are we doing? We're showing, not telling the committee how we are leaders, how we can empathize, how we can work in a team. These are the things that you want to be showing the committee. I will link the 15 core competencies in the bio below, so you can go and check those out so you can understand what I'm discussing. Now, once you finish your experiences, what I did is I went back and made an Excel sheet, and I made sure that I answered, I went back and made sure that I talked about teamwork. I talked about leadership. I wanted to make sure I hit every bullet point that they put on those 15 core competencies. So that way I know when they look at my package, they look at my application, it completely answers everything that they are looking for. They won't have to look for leadership. They won't have to, look for how is she a team player? How can she work on a team? Because it's already there. They give you the guidelines, so use it to your advantage. There's so many things that they provide for you to make this a lot easier, so just use it, and it won't be as hard. I'm going to also link a running activities I'm also going to link a running activities template, so you can go in and see exactly what I'm referring to with having to put the point of contact, the number, the email, the hours. You can erase mine and just put your information there. I will also attach a example of what the activities looks like, so you can know how much room you're making, so you can know how much room you have. Overall, make sure you just stay true to yourself and your personal statement and your experiences. If you have any questions, please never hesitate to email me at becoming.dr.russell@gmail.com. I also start a Becoming Apparel line. I really believe in speaking things into existence, so why not wear it into existence? So if you would like a shirt that's similar to mine with your last name, please message me. I will definitely create one for you. Or if you would just like a generic one that says Becoming Dr. Bay, Nurse Bay, Dentist Bay, please check out the website that I have linked in the bio below. Stay tuned for the last video in this series that will discuss recommendation letters and just any loose ends that I would like to tie up on making sure that you enter this application season ahead. You know exactly what you're getting yourself into. You already have your personal statement done, your experiences ready to just copy and paste over. You already have your classes in Excel, so that way it's easier to put them in, and that way your application just goes a lot smoother than the average person. So if you have any questions, please message me either on Instagram or email me. Remember, I am your best friend through this. We're both going to get through this. I wish you the best in this application season, and I'll see you guys in the next video.